Hello. Hello. How's it going? Oh my goodness, I'm on live. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm on live. Oh my goodness, you can see a little bit of my blue jeans. Oh my goodness, you can't anymore. Hi. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I'm doing this voice. It just kind of came out. Oh my goodness. Hi. How's it going? Oh, who just followed? Anna. 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 Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Very good. Very good. Depresses me. We have to exclude newer people, but like brand new people. But life is life, and we will learn to live with it. How's it going? Boop. Oh wow, we already have 3 people. Hey! Good to see ya, good to see ya, good to see ya. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so I had fun trying to do slightly more original designs yesterday. For a while, you know what I never do? You know what I never do? You know what I never do? What the world needs. You know what I never do, and I should probably do more of? I never design my own characters. I tend to work from. I tend to be rigidly working with references. I tend to be. I tend to be pretty. It's the most real and live superstar the world has ever seen. Hey, T.O., good to see you. See you. Trying to get a rhyme going for your name. See you. See ya. How's it going? This chair that I'm sitting on currently broke, and it makes me very nervous, and I should probably get a new chair. Oh well. I've gotten not great responses from my character designs, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna take this belt off because it is kind of slicing into my flesh. Why I wore a belt when I'm gonna be just sitting down, I don't know. Okay. You guys just want to see what I was drawing today? Just a little working on that today, but we're gonna do character designs, which is where I try and be original instead of just working from a single reference, which is scarier. Oh, that's weird. Oh! Did you? I don't know. You should be able. Hey Anna, how's it going? You're the one who followed me. I appreciate that. Yeah. Sorry about that. We've had issues with certain people. So Twitch needs to be very strict. Honestly, probably said this on YouTube, but I don't got it. YouTube is a little bit more annoying to get those regulations going. You know, life is life. How's it going? Very embarrassing. Well, more, I was just working for reference. Yeah. Oh, I'll give you... You do stuff on YouTube? I'll give you a phone. And followed. There we go. So, Tio, how are things going? I had some nachos today. I'm very good at making nachos. That's like my one cooking skill. Is I'm very good at making nachos. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna create a character. We're gonna sit back, we're gonna relax, we're gonna try and create a character. Nobody's gonna be weird and shitty to me about it. And that's just what we're gonna do. And let me clarify something. Just because I might be a little bit self-effacing and self-putting down, does not mean I want people to come in here and be really epically quite cruel in their criticisms. If I could give advice, this is something I wanted to give advice to people. I want to give advice to people on, if I can. Okay. I mean, it's common etiquette with creativity is like critiques. I don't know. I don't want to be like, you can't critique me, but it's like, make sure a person is ready for critiques before you offer. I don't know. I don't want to be this person, but it can be quite shocking to receive like very harsh critiques when you're not prepped for it. And that's all I'm saying. Not based on a real experience I've had that's given me a lot of insecurity. Yeah, especially when you don't ask for them. It's like, you know, at some point I'm gonna ask for critiques, but it's like, yeah, it's not appreciated. Like, wait until somebody is ready. You know, wait until critiques are important. That's how we all get better and move on. We get better, but it's also like, man, you gotta get ready for that. Like, that's a little bit of a mental thing you have to get ready for. It can be quite harsh when you're just having a good time being creative. Hey, Layla, how's it going? Oh, this is too harsh. Oh, just etiquettes with critiquing. Etiquettes with critiques, and when they are appropriate and when they aren't. And the general consensus, my general opinion, unless people are ready for a critique, it's probably best not to give one. It's like, especially, I would argue, yeah, I would argue a little bit when they're not finished. When they're not finished. Anyways, it can be quite a shock to your system. Yeah, yes, I agree, Tio. There is a level of vulnerability that you have to you prep for with critiques. And the person who is good at being creative is probably not the same person who, like, you as when you're being creative is not the same person you need to be when you're being critiqued. I guess that's my point. Anyway, negative experience that happened on here that that kind of affects me till this day still, and I just want to make that clear for people going forward, setting forward examples, setting forward my feelings on it. But again, I don't want to be one of those people like, you can't critique me ever. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. But it's like, give me some fucking time. You know? Give me some fucking time before I'm ready for that, okay? And I don't know. I'm not even that sensitive right now, but yeah. I do too. I'm gonna be honest, it fills me with nothing but anxiety. Like, at some point, I'll ask. At some point, I don't know. Like, but I don't know. It's also like this thing. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to walk on eggshells around me, because you really don't. But you know, a little bit. I do these things a little bit to get some. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you there, Tio. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree with that as well. You know what? I get I get either it's quirky or it's, oh, this is so weird, or it's so quirky, or it's so funny. And then I'm like, well, what parts did you like about it? It's just, you know, it's funny. I'm like, oh, thanks. I know people don't like it when I know people. I don't know. It's not, I don't know. I try and write comedies, and you know, sometimes when I write stuff, like, people just don't want to engage with it. Even it's like, yeah, it's okay, or it's like it's too big for me. I'm like, it's frustrating to get that. It's very frustrating to get that. That's like, it's like I hate that critique. So I hate that critique so much. Oh, it's so weird. Yeah, exactly. So, because I used to put more self-effacing titles. Like I would be much more like I would like, oh, you know, oh me, I'm so bad at this. Nope, I have none. Well, I have some, but I'm vaguely, I have vaguely, I don't know actually. I don't know. This is just more. This is an extension of what we were doing yesterday. I don't know if you're here for that, Anna, what we were doing yesterday. I was just like, you know, it's fun to try and create stuff on my own. I should not be so worried about that. Oh, that sucks. Why did you have to drive for 12 hours? Yeah. Like, no, I'm okay with critique. And I understand. It's like I feel like this is overtly defensive, like, because I hate when like artist people are like, oh, the critics are so garbage, they don't understand anything. It's like, no, criticism is an important part of all of this, but it's like, I don't know. I feel it's fair to critique a finished work, you know, but when something is in a state of like progress, like, until somebody is ready to present it to you, like, don't be weird. Don't be weird and say it looks like shit. Like, just, I wasn't even probably going to use. Sorry, I'm still quite. That hurt actually quite a lot because, and I shouldn't have I didn't react great to that, and that was on me. Partly because I was very hopped up on steroids at the moment. I had to take them for medical reasons, but I was very hopped up on steroids, and I feel bad about that. But anyway, just want to say, be cool, okay? Be cool with all this shit, okay? And I believe all of you are cool, but I'm just getting my thoughts out there. You know, I saw why special family. Oh, what? Is there a holiday on? But it did hurt. It did hurt. It did hurt. It legitimately hurt. So much so that I've been nervous to do stuff like this since that moment because of that. Anyway. Sorry. I'm talking about a situation that you guys do not know about. I don't really want to go into. And I deleted the stream where that happened. So I should shut up. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like, well, thanks. It's not ready yet. This is like, no, not really, Tio. I theoretically I could have, I guess, if I had, like, worked out, but I ended up just doing like, what, babe? But I ended up just doing like a series of 12-hour streams. Callie, do not do a labyrinth bit with me if you can't continue it. Yeah. Callie, what, babe? Yeah. No, it's fine. It's nothing. It's an issue that it's not worried about. That just sounds like shit. That just sounds like, yeah. Because oftentimes, like, here's the thing. Okay, here's a way to think about it. Companies don't want your ideas. Like, over and over, companies go like, we don't want your game ideas. Well, thank you. Yeah, like, and the reason they don't want that is they're not like Nintendo will like, if you send like a game idea to Nintendo or something, they will send it back with a file saying that we have not looked at this, and the reason they don't want that is because they could get sued if they do. But more to the point, they're interested in like your reactions to things they might be working on, that they want to present. I don't know. I get that streaming is a weird thing where it's like you're seeing the process as it happens. But, like, don't be a weird shit, I guess, is just my point. Don't be weird. And they weren't a shit. I should stop talking about this person. I was very hurt by it. And it's taken me a very long time to get over it. You can tell I'm still kind of hurt by it because I'm talking about it right now, even though I wasn't going to bring it up, and I brought it up, and I feel bad about that. But I feel bad about everything. I'm Catholic. I have to feel bad about everything. That's the rule. Anyways. And we had a good talk. And I should mention, I had a good talk with this person afterwards. It's all cool. We're all cool. We're all cool. We made up, and we're fine. We're fine. We talked it out. And you know, I concede. I probably should have been clearer with what what my thoughts were. Like I should have been clearer with what my thoughts were. But I was just anyway. Sorry, I'm talking in circles, and I don't enjoy it. How was visiting your family? Was it boring? Your cat. Usually that's what happens when I get quite bored. And it was maybe a misunderstanding of cultural context, which I think was very justified, and I probably should. Anyway, sorry, I'm talking in circles. Please, somebody interrupt me as I will continue to talk in circles until I get interrupted. Okay. It's your cat. It's your cat. So Anna, are you in Anna? Are you in is it Anna or Anna? You're in video game production in Lele? Yeah. Lele. How goes the art? Okay. Yes, it is time to change tacos. I feel bad for every single action I made in my life before this exact time period. Yeah. I'm going to Austin. I feel that. I have writer's block. Yeah, it's hard to come up with interesting things to do all the time. Like, why can't your mind just work at peak efficiency at all moments? Right? It's true though, TL, it's true. Every single thing. Oh, that sucks. We could play that game again that we played last night. Anna, if you weren't there for that game was fun. Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, yeah. It's I've been talking about this like with people who like want, well, people who are kind of obnoxious about certain things, but not saying who, but I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I had a writing job for a bit of time, like a professional writing job where it was my like full-time career. Burrito. And although I have zero regrets about it, but it's also, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do a job like that again. Because it was very stressful and very intense. Cheap wooden carving of an eagle. It was very intense and very time consuming. And so I had to write 3,000 words a day. I technically got weekends off, but I almost never got the weekends off because I usually have to make up stuff. And it was, that was a very intense job. And and I've tried to explain this to people that it was an incredibly intense job. And the response I get from people, most people are like this, but the response I get from people is like, oh, I can do that. And then I interrogate them just a little bit further, and usually they go like, well, I don't usually do 3,000 words a day. And I actually barely write stuff. I've barely written stuff in the last few weeks. But I've done 3,000 words in a day beforehand. And so I have to. I get a little hurt by this because they're essentially calling me a quitter because they're like, well, I could have done it, and then it's like they admit they can't do. They admit in their daily life they can't do it. I can write about 1,000 words a day usually if I'm focused and if I am in the right headspace. But I'm not always in the right headspace. And the thing about that intense period of like writer's work is, if I could, so weighted for you. Like, that is you working at your like peak efficiency. See, the thing is, like, people are not prepped for what like creative work, like an actual creative job is, where it's like, yeah, this creative thing you do for fun, where you tell the stories you really want to tell, is a very different beast than doing writing for somebody else. Writing for somebody else where they come up with the storylines that you probably... I didn't like the storylines that I was given. I did, and I didn't hate them. There was stuff I liked. But it's like, you make no decisions, and they like, okay, you're just gonna write this and only this. You're gonna write this, and you will have to conform to the style we want. And you don't really get to say anything because, you know, you're being paid to follow your dream. And you also have to write about 3,000 words a day, which is a lot of work. So you writing at, like, you being able to write 3,000 words a day at some times in your point, is your mind working at such peak efficiency, and it's you, like stacking the deck so heavily in your favor to write in the way that you want to write. You get to choose the subject, the tone, the time, and the place you get to write. It is not like this relentless slog. It is not this relentless thing where every day you fall behind. And it really, I don't know, it was hard. It was a very hard job. And I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I went through it. I'm happy for the money. I'm happy for the experience. But I've tried to explain this to people, and they're just like, ugh. And it bugs me. It bugs me to no end. It's like, I could have done it. It's like, but no, you couldn't. I know you couldn't because you don't do it. I know you couldn't because you don't do it in your day-to-day life. Friend got me the job. Sorry. That's another lodged in there like bit of anger I've had. A friend got me the job. I was friends with somebody who worked there already. Good job. I don't regret doing it. I should make that clear. I don't regret doing it. I'm happy I did it, but I'm also happy I don't have to do it anymore. I'm also happy I don't have to do it anymore either. Look at something, Kelly. I don't regret doing it, but I'm also just... it's an intense job that people burn out from really quickly. I was noted as... Yeah. Anyways. Sorry. This has turned into the Sean complains about things day, and I don't want to do that. That's shitty. That's shitty because I tend to do that already a lot. I'm not a fan of racism in the video game industry. That's the other big thing I've been on about lately. But, yeah. I like it. I like that poem. Very basically, the reaction some people have had to the new Assassin's Creed game is very pathetic, and I think we should feel ashamed that we still are at that moment. Anyways, okay. There we go. There's all my particular things I've been grousing about lately. Well, the racism thing is there. But anyways, okay. I feel bad now that I made a joke about it because it was a thing I was very angry about today, and I've been complaining about it to everybody I encounter. But I don't. When you bring this stuff up, it brings out the worst in people. So I don't want to do that. But I just want to say, kind of tired of video game people. Tired of dealing with like video game fans, just in general. Anyways, sorry. I'm spiraling again. Can you tell I'm spiraling again? Listen, if you guys don't talk back to me, I start to spiral. Okay. I don't like that how... Okay, so, real talk. I don't like... Yeah. Loyal. Boil, foil. I don't like how, like... Anyways, open we are now. How, like, some people are very open with their racism, and it's like... It's considered, like... You know, like, it's just people... Anyways. It's just people, like... Sorry. I guess we're enacting all my the angry things I'm angry about right now. Okay. Sorry. I'm cool. Going to Austin. Yeah, tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Well, technically tomorrow, I guess. Has anybody here been to Austin? Sorry. I saw a video that made me very mad today. It argued that a bog standard hero shooter flopped because it had black people in it, and this is from a guy I've been quite a fan of, and the fact that he's like doing this bullshit, it makes me mad. And then he was like, "Well, what do you think?" I don't know. If I could, you know, when I signed up for all the nerd shit, I didn't sign up for this, like these discussions. Like, I wanted to like video games and comic books and all this stuff. I didn't want to have like endless talks. I'm so exhausted by this, and I'm exhausted because it's like, I don't know. People are like excusing like just straight up being really fucking racist for like nerd shit. I'm like, fuck you. This wasn't nerd shit. I wanted to be into it. I liked I liked superheroes and genre stuff. I didn't like. I'm sorry. Like, me playing Zelda was not me like signing up to be part of like being part of like a racial pure. I don't know. It's just. I'm just irritated by it. I'm just so irritated by it. And I'm angry is another word. Angry is another word. Like, okay. The single most pathetic thing I ever saw on the internet was people getting seriously mad about the live action Little Mermaid movie. Not for any of the reasons you should be angry about something like that. That it is a soulless cash grab of a classic. That it is another one of these needless live action remakes of a thing that did not need a live action remake. No. The argument was over whether Ariel, the race of Ariel, and I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. I'm not like. I don't remember signing up for any of this. I remember for getting into, like, pissy arguments about, like, is Superman faster than the Flash? I remember for getting in pissy arguments about that. That was fine. Or, could Batman defeat Doctor Doom? The answer is yes. Flash is faster. Well, he has to. He has to be fast. He has to be faster. Or it doesn't make. It's not as fun. I think, at least. Here's another one. Captain Marvel, and by Captain Marvel I mean Shazam. Versus who's stronger, Captain Marvel or Superman? That's a really old argument that's been around for decades. Pretty much since the characters were created, people have argued that. And the real answer is, of course, the real answer, if anybody is curious, is whoever the writer decides, but you know. So, yeah. Well, the argument that people make is essentially Superman is vulnerable to magic, and Captain Marvel is magic, so technically Captain Marvel could beat Superman. Although the argument I would make is that both Captain Marvel and Superman get along quite well with each other, and I don't think they'd ever realistically fight. Unless, you know, like Kingdom Come, I guess, is the only time they've ever fought realistically. And that was after years of mental torture. See, this is a problem with like me when I try and design characters. I'm very indecisive about everything. I don't know. Probably Shazam, just because he's magic, so he has that ability over Superman. So famously, do you guys know a little bit of the history with Captain Marvel and Superman? Captain Marvel was not the. It's awkward because I grew up calling him Captain Marvel, but they've like embraced Shazam now as the name, which I don't know. It was always Captain Marvel for me. Because there was Captain Marvel and there was Captain Marvel, which is Marvel's. Yes. Yeah, it's weird. Well, okay, so Captain Marvel was not part of the DC universe. He was part of, I believe, Charleston Comics originally. Yeah, he was part of Charleston Comics originally, which was separate, and then DC bought out Charleston. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Okay, here's a fun fact. What was Captain Marvel's very first original name? Do you know? Well, you wouldn't, because it never made it past the original issue. First issue. Captain Thunder was the very first name they went with. So famously, it was Captain Thunder. So famously, Captain Marvel has no issue 1, because issue 1 was a quick they call them ashcan comics. And what an ashcan comic was a very, very quickly assembled comic book that they would put out in a very limited run, so that they could retain the copyright to it before somebody else could take it. And that was Captain Marvel's first issue was an ash can comic, and they call it an ash can because you're just supposed to throw it away afterwards. So that was that's the story of that. I'm tempted to go into another rant. I do quite a lot. I should not. I'm not going to. It's an ugly side of my personality that I don't like. Where I get just very mad at things. I'm a very grumpy guy. I try and suppress my natural grumpiness, but I am quite a grumpy guy in a lot of circumstances. Oh, right. So the story is Marvel, DC sued Captain Marvel for ripping it off. Sued Charleston for ripping off Superman. And that whole, I forget how that lawsuit went, but there was a lot of words being thrown back and forth about who ripped off who, but it's undeniable that Superman was, Captain Marvel did start off as a little bit inspired by Superman, if nothing else. Shazam is a fun word. I will admit that. I think Shazam is a very fun word. That's like a very charming, very fun word somebody came up with. Shazam! Okay, for 1 million fake internet points, do you guys know what Shazam stands for? It's an anagram, if you're curious. Well, at least in the DC. Million fake internet points if you get it. If you figure it out. And no Googling! You're not allowed to Google. Unless you're using Google's fine. Unless Google is currently listening right now, and I'd like to say your fine source of products is beloved in our home and every home in the world. Google, please start paying me money to do streams on here. I would appreciate it immensely. Yeah. It is an anagram for it. It's an acronym. Sorry, I'm stupid. Acronym for Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. Because he's supposed to have the powers of all of them. Which is funny because all of them are Greek gods, Greek figures, except for Solomon, who's from the Bible. See from your hymns, Avid David. Yeah. Which I always found funny. By the way, well, 3 of them are gods. No, only 2 of them are gods. Hercules is a demigod. Achilles, I think is Achilles also a demigod? And Atlas technically isn't a god, but a titan. I know, I like it too. I just think it's fun. Superman, Ham, and Zero avoid damage. That's brilliant. Layla, who would you say is your favorite superhero? Yeah. I mean, that's a good choice. Batman is most... He's usually... If he's not somebody's favorite, he's usually in, like, the top 5. He's just such a good character, isn't he? Yeah. No. I've never... I don't know. I kind of missed the boat on Nightwing as a character. Yeah. Well, Batman. He's just compelling. I know some people who are very much like, yeah, why do you care? It's like he's a compelling character. That's why. He's complex and has a rich inner life, which is a good sign for a character. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's a better one. Is he dead? Oh, that's such bullshit. They're gonna bring him back. What about you, Tia? Who would you say your favorite superhero is? They're gonna bring him back. That's a good. I was like, they'll bring him back. Oh right, I forgot that whole stupid thing where like Batman is now being Nightwing. Ugh. Scott Snyder is kind of overrated. I don't hate him. I've seen that. Oh, I've seen. They say that. Lele, let me tell you something. They lie. They're lying. They're lying now, and they're lying about that. They're gonna bring him back. They always do. They always bring back the characters. It may take a little bit of time, but they're gonna bring him back. I remember a few years when Marvel was touting that the death of Doctor Strange was going to happen. The official no, Doctor Strange is really going to die. And they brought him back. Yeah, Damon, I don't... They always bring them back. Yeah. Layla. Here's what I'm gonna say. Sit back. Trust me, he's coming back. They always do this. Listen, their only idea ever to generate buzz is to kill off a character and bring them back. That's their only idea ever. Trust me, he's coming back. Dick is too popular of a character to not bring back. You must remember at one point they killed Bruce. They killed Bruce off. They've killed Superman off. 6 times they've killed Wonder Woman. They've literally killed all their main characters and they just brought them back. He's coming back. What's your feelings on Jason? I also have a rant about another Robin that people like. Yeah. Okay, here's a question. Obis! Good to see ya. Here's a question. Who would you say is your favorite B-level superhero? Like, no like A-level superheroes. Like, you know, no like Spider-Man, no Batman, no Superman. You know, no Captain America or Iron Man. Who's like your favorite, like more like obscure superhero that you are interested in and nobody else is? How's it going, Oak? Wait, he's coming back. He's coming back. Trust me, he's coming back. I've been here before. They always bring them back. I've been reading superhero comics for. Ooh, that sounds good. Have you ever made lemonade concentrate? I really like. How did he die? I don't know. I can I be honest? I find Scott Snyder to be really overrated as a writer. I don't hate him as. No, how did he die? I don't hate him as a writer like some people do. But I find him to be... I don't get why he gets to be in charge of Batman, so why he's been given so much leeway over Batman. So this is a recipe I learned on TikTok. What you do is you grate the peel, pour a bunch of sugar in it, mix it all together in a hot water thing, and then you strain it out, and you get this really high dose of like lemon and sugar taste. It's delicious. I love it so much. But you also like pour the juice. Anyways, yeah. How did he die? Why did Damon kill him? I don't understand that. Why did Damon kill him? I miss Tom King writing Batman. He's coming back. I miss Tom King. Why did Damon kill him? Nice! Oh, he's definitely coming back then. I thought maybe he like turned into a zombie or something. How long have you been following comics, Leilai? Yeah. Well, that's good. Send it. Good point. Let's see. Oh, darn it. How did Dick Grayson die? That's terribly depressing. Oh my god! Oh, that's so lame. No, they're not gonna keep this. That's so dumb. Oh my god, that's so dumb. Sorry. I looked it up. It's so dumb how he dies. Sorry, Callie, I didn't notice your phone. Post it in the writing. It's so... They are not... Dick is one of their oldest characters. They are not keeping that on record. Oh my god, that is so fucking stupid. Oh. Opus, do you guys know how he died? You guys... Oh, yeah, there's no way they're keeping him alive. They're getting rid of that. Do you want to know how he died? Do you guys know how he died? I hate it too. That is... Oh, that's so useless. Oh, that's such a dumb idea. Damien threw a stick at him. Damien threw a stick. Damien threw a stick at him. They got into an argument and Damien threw a stick at him and said, "Don't tell me what to do." And it hit him in the temple and he fell over. No, it's one of those, like, batarang things. It's one of those it's, you know, it's one of the bad things. I love that. Anyway, I love when Batman is not about being Batman. It is a soap opera. That's my favorite genre. I like that so much. So stupid. So stupid. Oh. I can't believe it. One of the dumbest deaths I've ever heard of in history. Oh my god. Yeah. I hate... Oh. You know, if the character's gonna die, you know, like, at least, like, let them have a heroic death, you know? Like, let them go out, like, in a moment of glory. You know, don't. Yeah. Damon, okay. Damon's a little bit of a Mary Sue author's pet, isn't he? Like, he's a tiny bit that. Like, he's kind of a Wesley character, to use the parlance of TV tropes. He's a character that the writers all like and are obsessed with, but yeah, he's a spoiled brat, and Batman has raised several kids, and they've all turned out to be quite, you know, intelligent, you know. They've all been quite gifted members of society, and his own kid is like, his own flesh and blood is like, I don't know. Can I say something really controversial? That I would never, like, dare to put in a video or dare to say in front of everybody. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of wish that they would do a reboot of Batman and kind of clear out all of the Robins, because it's starting to get too many, I think. I don't know. The Bat Family whole thing is starting to get a little bit hard to follow. And just, I don't know. which is not. I don't know. I don't even totally agree with myself saying that. I don't even totally agree with myself saying that because I like some of the. I really like. I've told this story before. I told this story before. So, the very first comic arc I read in Batman. This is real. The very first comic book arc I read in Batman was Stephanie Brown becoming Robin. With Stephanie Brown becoming Robin. So I've always been I've always had like a very so I'm like, so in my head at least that's the Robin. Like that's the Robin I was very familiar with, and I remember just being like really angry when they got rid of her so quickly. Because I'm like, I read this whole arc where she becomes Robin. Like, how did they kick her out so quickly? Anyway, so I really liked her. Like, I really liked her series. I really liked the series she got to be when she was Batgirl, and I like the whole friendship that they have with Cassandra. I like the whole friendship she has with Cassandra Cain, and I like Cassandra Cain a lot too. Okay, so. It's not strictly true. The very first Bat arc I really got into was No Man's Land, but the trick with that is I read the novelization, not the comics, and that's where Cassandra Cain gets introduced. And I really liked that book I read. That was written by Greg Rucka, who is very good. That is great. Anyway, so I like the side characters, but it's like I don't know. Who's the new Robin? Who's the new Robin? Because there's a new Robin that I've not read anything with the new Robin. I have no idea. I know they're doing another girl again, which is good. I think that's good that they're doing another girl. So. That's okay. That's fine. That's okay. You're allowed. Comics is a stupid, expensive hobby. I really resent how expensive it is. They expect you to buy a lot of comics. God, I haven't thought about that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even totally agree with myself, but I also think the Batman stuff is becoming kind of complex, kind of a little bit more complicated than it should be. Yeah. And it's starting to rub me the wrong way. That it's starting to become like kind of complicated. In a way that it's starting to rub me in the wrong way, that it's becoming complicated in a way that it really shouldn't be. I don't know. I have an opinion that I think comic books work a little bit better when they are not so hyper obsessed with continuity like they get sometimes. Because it's like, you know, it kind of devolves into this whole stupid like soap opera-y thing that, like, say the like CW shows turned into pretty quickly. That I'm essentially sick of. Like, I don't know. I love superheroes. I've been rewatching Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers goes into some weird places that I'm not 100% a fan of, but Venture Brothers is so strong of a show in many ways, and hints at what like superheroes could be without like having to worry about, like, superheroes and supervillains could be without having to worry about like need to prove them. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sick of like mainstream superheroes. That might be it. Maybe I'm just sick of mainstream superheroes. I would like an independent creator to start. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I would like a romantic. You know, I would like an actual romance with Catwoman to be like done well in a movie. I haven't seen the new Batman movie, so with R. Pat, so maybe it is done well in that. So But yeah. Oh, I'm so burnt out with Batman and Joker. The problem is, you know, the thing is, I I care more about, you know, I'm not okay. So my other really controversial opinion is I don't care about Jason Todd all that much as a character. Yes, post it. Could you fly with me in every language? You know, of food and body, our tongues will keep us on the ground by the taste of curry tied together. Ooh. That's so pretty. I'm just essentially burnt out with Batman, I guess. Ugh. Yeah. He's another Robin, Opus. There's 6 Robins at this point. It's starting to get a little complicated. It's starting to get a little complicated with Batman and all this stuff. There's a lot of Robins, there's a lot of characters that pop up. Like, you know, they always compare, here's a comparison. You know, they always try and figure out who you could compare Batman to in like the DC, in the Marvel universe. Here's my pitch. Batman is the equivalent of Charles Xavier. Yeah. I love Stephanie Brown. I like Stephanie Brown. Oh my god. I hate that arc so much. Right? I find... Well, my problem with Jason Todd is... I kind of find him... I dislike Jason Todd because he's essentially a character Batman writers have resisted writing for years, and then they put him in. That he's essentially he's a grittier anti-hero version of Batman. And I don't like that. I find him to be, like, I don't know, I find him to be so dark, he's kind of, I kind of find him to be a bit obnoxious. I love that. That's my opinion. I know that's controversial, and if you like, yeah, I find, well, the problem is, I think that's why people are interested in him, is because he's so, like, gritty. Oh my god, like, Layla, I don't know if you've read some of his solo series. They are very obnoxious to read. They are very obnoxious to read because because they write him as essentially like halfway between like the Punisher and Batman. And Batman with bad writers, it can be very obnoxious to read. It can be very obnoxious to read because he's such a misery guts. But Batman has also had decades of heartbreak and multitude. And I don't know, for some reason, I guess when I read it in a younger person who's like that, I'm a little bit like, I don't know. But like Jason Todd is essentially Batman times like 20. And Batman can already be Batman, when written badly, can be kind of obnoxious. And Jason Todd is always written badly. So he's always obnoxious. Part of the problem is there's never been a good, outside of Jason Todd's initial comeback, there's never been a good Jason, in my opinion, I'm going to throw this out there, there's never been a good Jason Todd series, ever. Outside of the Red Hood Returns, which is great. His original comeback is a great arc. But I don't think he's ever really been written well, because I don't think anybody has any real idea what to do with him as a character. I think people like his look, and honestly, that can get you by a lot if in comics, at least. If you have like an interesting design, people will kind of keep you around just because they like your design. But I don't think they've ever really, like, there's never been a particular, and they've never, like, hit it out of the park really with, I think, a Jason Todd story after his return, in my opinion. Now, to be fair, I haven't read all of Scott Snyder's epic Court of Owls series, so maybe they really nail it at some point. But from the stuff I've read, I've never been that impressed with him. He's a more mopey Batman, and Batman is already quite mopey as a character. But at least with, like, Batman, it's like, here's the thing. At least with Batman, you understand why. At least with you understand why Jason Todd is like that. But at least with Batman, it's like you've been following him for a long time, and you know when push comes to shove, Batman will do the right thing. So that's why you can kind of put up with his mopiness, because you know in the end Bruce will always attempt to do the most moral correct thing. To be the guy you want to be a good person. My problem with Jason Todd is I don't buy that with him. And maybe someday I will, but I don't buy him. Like, I feel Jason Todd acts often in his own self-interest more than anything. Ugh, God, yeah, that's quite boring. Acts in his own, like, self-interest, and he's like, I'm gonna be honest, characters who are really, like, when people write characters who are really angsty, at some point, if all they care about is their angst, I'm like, please just go to fucking therapy. At some point. Like, if all you're gonna do is sit around being angsty, stop, like, go to therapy. Like, at some point, you're like, just go to fucking therapy already. Jesus. Like, at least with, like, yeah. At least with, like, Bruce, he is, like, the thing with Bruce that makes him compelling is he is trying so hard to be better. And in his own weird way, he's done it. He was a boy whose family was violently ripped from him, and through kind of this weird philosophy that he developed, he developed with like kind of self, like, he had this weird philosophy of, like, self-determination, and he's managed to cobble back together everything he lost, and that makes him a compelling character. That even though he can't quite admit it to himself, he recreated his family. He got a family. Through a lot of heartache, he rebuilt his life and gave himself purpose. That is a compelling character arc. Yeah. That is a compelling character arc. And he's not, you know, that is a compelling character arc. He did it. He found a way to make his world right again. He became a superhero. He found connections with people in that world, and then he found people who needed those connections. And that is compelling. That is a very compelling story arc. There's a lot of things you can look into that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. The problem with Jason Todd is he's just mad and angry all the time. And maybe I'm, like, I don't know. I haven't read his full thing. So, again, take this with a grain of salt. But he's just angry and mad all the time, and he doesn't try. He doesn't try. He just wants to be angry and mad all the time. And that is uncompelling. That is uncompelling. Bruce tries, I guess, and he tries so hard, and he can never really admit it, but there's such a compelling arc in his life, and that's what's interesting. I think, at least, that's what's interesting, that in some way, and it's not, you know, is Bruce, like, psychologically healthy? Yeah. Is Bruce psychologically healthy? No, but he's found a way to, like, be happy. Yeah, Batman tries. Jason never tries. He just blames all his problems on and, you know, he's gone through a lot of shit. He should be mad at a lot of people, but I don't know. I don't like this like thing that people do with like when they examine Batman and go like, well, why didn't you just go to therapy? Why didn't you just go to therapy? Why? It's like, do you not know he Anyways, his whole character arc is him essentially trying to rebuild his life in a way that he can understand, and him attempting to regain control that he lost. Anyways, so that's. I guess that's my defense of Batman, just in general. That he's a compelling character for those reasons. And I guess that's also where Batman ripoffs fail. Batman ripoffs fail to understand is that... Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he can't quite trust people, because he also might reveal he's Batman. Also, Bruce has a little bit of an issue trusting strangers. Anyways, yeah, he only trusted Alfred. Anyways, I guess, so I throw it out there. This used to be a writing advice stream, and I still occasionally think of trying to do that. Here's my general writing advice. It's perfectly okay to have your characters be angsty, but if your characters are angsty and nothing but angst, that's not compelling. That's not compelling, you know? If all they are is their tragic backstory, then there's nothing to that. They need to have, like, arc. They need to have an arc, and they need to start developing out of that. Yeah. Anyways, I love Batman. Sure. I'm not great with poetry advice, but I'm good. Like, anyways, so I guess that's my rant about Batman. That's why Batman's a good character. Spider-Man's also a very, yeah. Then they just whine. At some point, you just like. I don't know if you guys have ever seen BoJack Horseman. It's a good show. You should watch it. One of my favorite scenes in that is like BoJack, who is this like BoJack, who throughout the show is this like depressive alcoholic who is like who keeps fucking up his life in every which way but he could understand. For not unjustifiable reasons, BoJack has gone through a lot. Sure. BoJack has gone through a lot, but like his roommate once goes like, I love that scene where he's just like, and he goes, it's like, it doesn't matter. You have to do better. And that's like such a true scene. It's like, yes, I get you went through a lot, but it still doesn't matter. You just have to be better. You can't treat people like shit because you were treated like shit. And I think that's such a nice... I think that's such a good way to like approach these things. It's like, yeah, you can't treat people like shit. You went through, anybody who's gone through like really bad trauma, I sympathize with you, but you also can't use that as an excuse to give that to other people. Anyways. And I get, yeah, I mean, if you want to, feel free to, Callie. Oh, well, how do you not have points, Callie? You're on here all the time. You should have enough points for a read. Oh, well. Okay. That's my rant about Batman. Yeah. Well, it's complicated, and then we get into like real complicated stuff about like cycles and go into a very long explanation. But that's frankly, it's pretty dark, and I don't want to get into that at the moment. Let's try and keep things light. You guys want to hear my rant about Spider-Man and why he's a good character? Yeah, because Spider-Man is also... I like Spider-Man a lot too. Okay, here's a question. Here's a question a question I have for everybody. Think of like the more obscure like superhero characters. Who's like one of your favorite obscure superhero characters? No headliners. Who's like a favorite obscure superhero character? Spider-Man's a really good character too, because Spider-Man is honestly, Spider-Man's really good. Okay, side rant. I'll keep talking until somebody comes up, names one of their favorite obscure superhero characters. Spider-Man's really good in general because he. I like. Oh, Elastic Man is such a fun character. Not necessarily. I think he was. Let's see. Yeah, the Dibney. I really resent it. If I could go on a brief rant, I guess side rant. I really resented the way he was in Flash. Oh my god, do I flippin' love the Tick. Silver Surfer's fun too. Because they totally got him wrong, weirdly, inexplicably wrong. So much so that I think they accidentally picked the wrong character. Yeah, because he was in the Flash show, Elastic Man. Yes, the Tick is really good. I have the original comics of the Tick, if anybody is curious. The very original comics that he premiered in, and they still hold up quite a lot. The Tick was one of my favorite shows as a kid, by the way. I don't know if I've ever said that. That was one of my favorites. I liked... just a very brief rant about Elastic Man. I don't understand why they picked Elastic Man in The Flash when they clearly wanted Plastic Man. Did they just get confused? I know it's a little confusing, but they clearly wanted Plastic Man, and for some reason they picked Elastic Man, and I don't get why they picked that. Because Ralph Dibny, Elastic Man is a very different character than Plastic Man is, even though they're superficially very similar. Because Elastic Man is fun. I like Miss Martian. She's not... Yes, Miss Martian. I like Miss Martian. I do find it funny that, like, every superhero now has a teenage version of themselves running around. Like, the Vision has Viv. I like Viv. Viv's a really good character. Viv is great. There's Teen Cyclops now. Jonathan Kent. Okay, where is it? Okay. I'm not gonna read it out loud. Okay. We'll do it in a little bit. Okay, but let's see. Okay. Okay, let's read this. Okay. Rel took her sharp forefingers and jabbed her daughter's eye sockets, and called the rats with a strange whistle that were like hands at a piano. As they played Flight of the Bumblebees. Okay. As they played. Okay. I have seen that. Joe's Apartment, I believe is what it's called. If I remember correctly. Okay. This is Callie's thing. Rel took sharp fingers and jabbed his daughter's eye sockets. Then called rats with a whistle that were like hands at a piano. They played Flight of the Bumblebee. Stella's lips, with her mother's fingers inside her head, took on a crazed grin. The expression, the rest of what her eyes couldn't. Oh, to express the rest of what her eyes couldn't. Have I mentioned I have dyslexia? So forgive me if I make little errors. A confidence that bordered on insanity. Father knows about the silence too, Mother. He won't like it, she said. The rats covered Stella from head to toe. And once they finished their meal, they went straight to the arm of Gawain had in his right hand. Went straight for the arm Gawain had in his right hand. Evan tackled the boy. Still the rats could chase. He carried Gawain over into a door that led to a moldy wooden stairs. He moved his lips, didn't make a sound because they were focused on his body. they would be tempted to respond, Gawain, you're dying, but this isn't your last day together. They say death reveals what's most important to us. So let me ask you, what's important? There was something in the way she played that lured me to her. A year younger than I was, and she was charged with a strange wisdom as if electrified by it. She was magnificent. I'll be a little awkward. We must be enemies, but below we are friends. The master will be angry, but our hearts will beat on, she said. Your heart is gone, eaten by rats, but I feel a pulse in your hand. What's important to me now that we all that is left is pulsing. Nothing, your mother. I will make her nothing of her world, so that the world will be important again. Gawain escaped from Nevin's arms and ran down the stairs. Nevin chased after him, so did the rats. Stella's arms still hot in his hands as she failed, as if she still played with her doll in the basement of the building where the main support beams. The closer Gawain got to them, the wilder they failed. Please, you want to destroy her with me, I guess. Now that you're dead, the only thing left for us to ruin is your mother's life. House of Belljaw values natural ability and a neutral skill, a balance of chaos and peace, and finally, the adrenaline that comes from youth chased by death and one saw. Each of these is Stella, a half-zombie girl, in the house of the Shamble Foot, a house that values relationships, self, and death. Gawain gave Stella the doll. He walked up into support beams and let Stella wreak havoc on each. Beam after beam, they fell. The house shook. Nevin went to Gawain. A large slab of the building fell over them. He crouched over Gawain with his face in his chest and bit his chest open. The next decade won't be kind to us, said Nevin, as he ate Gawain's heart. The building slab by concentrate fell over them. I'm reading Callie's thing, sorry. I'm reading Callie's thing. Sorry if that was unclear. Okay. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Feel free, where am I? There we go. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I want people to comment on it, but Callie, before we say anything, what do you like about it? Joe's apartment, by the way, is, I think, the movie that you're talking about. So, Callie, you got a good visceral thing going on here. That I think is pretty good. Your heart is gone, eaten by rats, but I feel a pulse in your hand. It's important to me now. You need some. So Callie, I do this thing. I do something similar you do, where it's I focus a little bit too. Okay, like your heart is gone, eaten by rats, but I feel a pulse in your hand. What's important to me now that all that's left is this pulsing nothing. Your mother. I will make nothing of her world, so that the world will be important again. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that? It's an interesting bit of dialogue. It's a little wordy, but maybe that's okay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe that's okay. So, Callie, a thing I do when I'm editing, if I need some help, is I do what's called what I call a bare bones edit. If I could give you this piece of advice, if I could, I do what's called a bare bones edit, and what I do is I go over the thing, and I cut literally everything I can, and I cut it down so much until until I have only the words absolutely necessary to tell a story. And then I see and then I examine what exactly I actually needed in the story. Now, this isn't meant to be like your final thing that you need to do. It's just an exercise. It's just an exercise for you to like assess what's actually needed. It's and comparing the two, you'll get a good sense of what you're actually trying to do. Can I give you that suggestion? I suggest that it might be a good idea to do that. But are you still writing this? Is this still like? Are you still in the middle of drafting everything? Well, then, Callie, you don't need my opinion. You don't need my opinion yet. Come back to me, Callie, when you're done drafting. Okay. So you gotta build the plane first, if that makes sense, before we can fly it. What you're kind of doing is you're kind of building it in mid-flight and flying it. Let's build the plane first, see if it flies, if that makes sense. No, that's all. Is this the end? Well, finish it up first, Callie. Just get through it. Get through it. You'll be surprised what having a completed draft, how much you realize when you get a completed draft done. Okay. It's easier to figure out when we can see the full draft. Yeah, it's a good way. It's a good way to start. And be brutal, Callie. Be brutal. Cut everything. Cut literally everything. You like a particular turn of phrase? Cut it. Your goal is to cut it down to as bare bones as you need to be able to tell a story. You'll find a lot of stuff you didn't actually need. And it's not like, again, I should emphasize that this is not the final version you should use. And particularly, Callie, your skill is like poetic imagery. So, a thing I always suggest to people is play to your strength. Like, figure out what you're actually kind of good at writing, and just play to that. Don't try and hide. This sounds bad, but don't challenge yourself. Figure out where your comfort zone is, and just get better at. Just figure out where your comfort zone is. I think it's always better to just play to, like, when you want to publish something, just play to your strengths. You know, especially when you're starting out, just figure out what your strengths are and start playing to them. Like, focus on your strengths and try and hide your weaknesses whenever you can. That's bad. I feel like that's bad advice to give people. It's like, don't try. Yeah. Well, welcome back. If I could, Callie. Okay. Callie. Here's a way to think. If I could, can I give you some advice on how to do dialogue that I think would help for you? Okay. Mandrake! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm giving some writing advice to my friend Callie over here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. As I struggle to design a character. Stop. Okay. Put out the notion. Okay. Let me see. I want to word this correctly because this is maybe a radical way of thinking of things. I think with dialogue, Callie, it may be better if you put out the notion that you're writing a character speaking. If that makes sense. You're not writing dialogue, Callie. Don't even think of it as dialogue. Here's what you want to do. You're writing a monologue. Think of it as you're writing two monologues that are intersecting with each other. Thank you. I should, yes. Yes, I'm aware. I have some weakness in my fundamentals. So, yeah, don't even think of it as dialogue. You are writing two connected monologues, okay? Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I do. It's, you know, yeah. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit today with getting stuff done. Does that... Does that make sense, Callie? So, Mandrake, are you not... I take it you're an artist. I'm trying to be an artist. I'm learning to be an artist. So, but does that make sense that it's too... Okay. I know this is a weird way to think of it. I haven't particularly checked those out. That would not be a terrible idea. Okay. Okay. So almost think of it like you're okay. Good. Yeah, it's a way. It's a piece of advice I got from I saw from a writer once. That's how he thinks of dialogue. It's not dialogue. It's two monologues that are entering, and that way he can. Yeah. Who was it that said that? It was a British program. He's a British guy. I think he wrote. I think it might have been Russell T Davies who said that. I always thought that was an interesting way to look at things. Because in some ways, that's kind of like how the human brain works. Is that your mind is that your mind that it does that make sense? Because so like part of it is like you should just treat it like your anyways. I hope this helps. Dialogue I always find like the most interesting bit of like dialogue. Dialogue is something people really obsess over, especially now. Like really good dialogue, and there's like I don't know, there's a lot of ways to do it. Like another one is like that you should kind of think of dialogue as music, if that makes sense. See, this is the problem I have with characters. It's like I get really lost in trying to get this to look right, and I spend hours like trying to get like something to look right, and then once it's like finally like there, it's like I'm never happy with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's be talking, Nate. Sure, okay. I'll give you a random word. thank you so much for the raid. Okay, your random word, Layla, is clue, and you have 25 minutes. Hey, and Adventureville. Hey, how's it going? I appreciate that so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you guys gave me a big old raid. How was the stream? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What? Ugh. Automod, you irritate me. You irritate me, Automod. Did you find some interesting things in men's underwear? It does. What's the interesting thing you found? What's the most interesting thing you found out about medieval men's underwear? You know, that's a subject I never really spent much time thinking about, gotta be honest. Oh, okay. Hey, Shay the Maker. Welcome to the stream. Yeah. Oh, that happens to me all the time. Trying to do like 3 years of research in like 20 minutes to understand like one very basic idea. How did wrestling rings set up the ropes in the 30s? I just saw a piece of advice that I should avoid doing the whole put the hands behind the back thing. That's yeah. Ah. Have 20 minutes left, Lele. Well, at least was he cut? Is it like the Mormon ones that they wear? Oh no, that's what I picture. Now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, that's a thought that never occurred to me. You know, they must have worn something. Hopefully you're now an expert on the undergarments of men in the medieval era. I'm sure Shay is very excited to bring this up to people. Oh, you see. Oh, yes, very fascinating about this baby you've been having. But men in medieval times, have you ever thought about their underwear? It's a little bit what I do when I learn new facts is like I really want to share them with everybody. And I'm like, oh, I know people wanted a certain thing. I know people aren't interested in this, but if I think I can present it fascinating. I'm reading a book about the 30 Years' War at the moment, and I've been trying to contrive ways to talk about the 30 Years' War with people. Just bringing up randomly to people, it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating how, fundamentally, it started as a very esoteric fight between religious differences, but then quickly folded into this massive cavalcade of disasters, each going more bad than the other, and it's essentially turning into what was the medieval equivalence version. Some people argue is the true First World War, because the devastation it wrought on the populace, either through disease or through battles, was massive. And in some ways it was one of the first modern wars, and it used a gunfire fighter. Fundamentally, the 30 Years' War starts with Bohemia, but you could argue that it was on the precipice with the war, war for Dutch independence that happened 13 years earlier, and this whole thing in Bohemia kind of comes out of nowhere and catches everybody by surprise. Do you like how subtly I was ironically talking about I talk about the 30 Years' War too much now, and then I seamlessly transitioned into me being able to talk about the 30 Years' War? That's why they pay me the big bucks. Here's the trick. Here, gutter the waif. I know what that phrase means. Here's the trick, Shay. If you do it ironically, you still get to do it. I'm not totally sure what CWC is, but I appreciate it nonetheless. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So just as good as the real Alzerian Crimson. Good to know. You have 14 minutes left, Leylai. Hello, Wave. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate it. So, what's everybody working on these days?
Gem, good to see you, Gem.
No greater. Yeah.
Good to see you. Ooh, no greater honor in the world than inspiring fiction, I would say.
See, Shay, it's all about finding. It's all about. See, conversations, they're like ports of call. They're like canals. They're like canals. You can kind of figure out. You can kind of, if you pay attention enough, you can figure out ways to direct them to eventually getting to the spot, to the place you want to talk about, to the thing you want to talk about. It's a skill that people can develop, but you can get there. You know who's really good at this is stand-up comedians. If you notice stand-up comedians who like do crowd work, you'll notice how they can get seemingly a random thing to eventually connect to a pre-written bit they've done. How's it going, Jen? That's cool. That's good to know. Well, I'm excited to see that. You guys got your own little... I've been doing... That's my way of saying I've been doing stand-up. That's my way of saying I've been doing stand-up comedy lately. I did some on my trip to New York, and I'm going to do some more in a day or two. And I'm very excited about it. I had a surprisingly good reaction to it was a surprisingly quite strong reaction to some of my material. I'm very excited about that, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm very, it won't always be that, but I want to keep trying. It's something I've been interested in for a while, and I did it, and it turned out okay. So it's like, how dare that internet? How dare the internet? Shay, I'd love to see the drawing. I'm sure it's beautiful. Darn it! No, accident. If you're so inclined, I have a. If you're so inclined, I have a Discord server. If you want to share it, and that's free for anybody. It's a good Discord server. A lot of fun people, a lot of fun, talented people post their art there, and I'd love to see yours. Again, the transitions are subtle. Dare it, indeed.
Well, I'd love to see it when it is. I'd love to see it when it is finished and done, and I'm sure it'll be fantastic. Is there a place where you share your art? We do a lot of our own here. I mean to get back into writing at some point. I'm just mentally. I just haven't. Honestly, mentally, I haven't been up for writing in a bit. So art is easier for art is less. Is not as intense as like writing is for me. So I've just been kicking back. But I'd like to get back into writing sooner rather than later. Honestly. I don't know, people seem to like it, so I've just kept doing it. So what Jam, what has the day been looking like for you? Huh. Well, you are a stronger person than I can't really do Twitter. I left it. See, my insecurity with art, if I could get honest with you about my insecurities are, I didn't start really doing art till much later in my life. So I feel like I'm constantly like playing catch up with everything. But that's really awesome, Shay, that you got back into it. I think that's really good. I know people who get very insecure if they don't do something for a while, that they've lost it totally. It's like, art, it comes back, It comes back. There's always time to get back into things. You got your whole life ahead. How's it been feeling to do it? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jen, that you're lagging. That's frustrating to hear. Oh, great. Layla, you got 5 minutes. It fills up steadily and slowly. And then in a second, it can all be taken away from you. Yeah, exactly. I did not know that he didn't start acting until he was 4. Do you know that he started on the his first roles were on the Electric Company? Which was a kids show. On PBS. Fun fact, the Electric Company was also the very first animated adaptation, was where the very first animated adaptation of Spider-Man premiered. It was a segment on. Yeah, it was a segment on the Electric Company. Oh my goodness! Sorry, I'm quite tired. Oh my goodness, Shay. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it immensely. I know it's a big world out there full of a lot of different people all vying for your attention, and I am honored, and feel even privileged that I've received just a little bit of it. I almost didn't totally stumble over my words there. I'm enjoying the atmosphere you're bringing to the stream, Shay. No worries, Callie. Oh, I would have. Thank you so much for the follow, and have a good night. I'm probably gonna call it soon myself. Oh no, okay. I finally got a form I like. You know, it maybe takes me a few times to nail the forms correctly. But it's not there. I don't think Do you want me to look at it again, Kelly? And you have succeeded. Give me editing access, Callie, by the way. Let me edit. Let me make notes, okay? Ooh, okay, I'm liking this better. What part did you edit? I'm liking this better, Callie. I think you're on the right track. Okay, Layla, if you're still up, that was 25 minutes. I think you're on the right track, Callie. Are you highlighting it? Oh, God. I hate this eraser. I don't know why I keep it. I believe Shay has gone to bed. Oh, you're still here. I hate this eraser so much. I don't know why I keep it. I should just throw this stupid thing out. It's ruined so many of my drawings. Did you get something? Nice! You want to share it? Or, I mean, if you want to take your time and get it to look really nice, feel free to. Shay is all. Let's see. Oh my! Oh, Leyline. Guys, look at what Leyline can do. Look at what Leyline can do over here. Leyline. That flippin' rules. Oh my god, that flippin' rules. Okay. Jealous of your abilities. No, Layla. I'm always so impressed by your art, Layla. Yeah. See, sometimes it's good. Honestly, it's good to sometimes put limits on yourself. It forces you to think. Me, I spent 2 hours trying to get one good form, one semi-okay form. Anyways. Getting tired. Don't worry. Gave you more time. Yeah, YouTube always has a little bit of a lag, which is frustrating. Not my favorite thing, honestly. I think you did pretty good to help get out of your artist block. Ugh. I think we should all congratulate Leilai. Congratulate Leilai. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be beautiful. I've always been impressed by your art is so cool. By the way. I think it's so neat. Oh my god. I am legitimately getting quite tired, guys. I think I got the energy to go on. But I will love to see something at your book creativity. I don't think I got the energy to go on. So I think we're gonna call it here, if that's okay. I should do as well. But we got a big room, so let's send this off to someplace. Let's send this off to someplace fun. Let's see. Let's try and send it off to. Okay, let's send it off to this guy. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it here. I'm pretty tired. We're gonna raid Dan Wrights. Be nice. I know I'm still in.
There's a phrase of washing away sins as well, so there's plenty of, plenty of Christian or Baptist type
Okay. See you later, everybody. Bye.
analogies for this.